If you want to perform better at anything in life, do this one thing. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about a topic that I'm very passionate about, and that's human performance. Performance in life, business, your relationships, performance overall in your everyday life. And it's something that I've really been reflecting on in my own life over the past year because my son Aiden was born last year. And I really had to analyze where I felt I was performing well in my life and where I felt I could make some improvements. I'll give you a short story here that explains how in depth I think about performance and how I get caught in a loop sometimes on a certain topic. My typical routine is go in the sauna, ice bath, and then get in the shower at night after my son is put to sleep. And on one of the nights, I was in the shower and I was thinking, well, what is the common thread between everything that I do in my life? I love entrepreneurship. I love athletics. I've been an athlete my entire life. I love psychology. I love community events and people and building things, the startup life. I love investing time, money, and energy into things. What is the common thread between all of them? And when I really deeply thought about that, there was two things that came up. It was psychology of the human mind, because when we think about performance and high level of performance, yes, skill plays a part, but if you watch, listen, and read about stories of greatness, a lot of times it comes from mental willpower and the ability to perform even when the odds are stacked against you. And then the second part of performance is proximity. It's how close can you get yourself to other people, knowledge, resources, information, friction, things that force you to grow and perform at a higher level. When I think back on my own life, and I think if you were to ask yourself the same question, the times that you performed the best typically required immense mental fortitude and strength, as well as being in an environment that was conducive for you to performing well. Meaning, if you're gonna be an athlete, go hang around other great athletes. And when I mean friction, like you're going to be hanging around them every day and they're going to force you just seeing them to grow at a greater rate. If you're an entrepreneur, you want to be in a place like Austin, Texas, like I am, around other entrepreneurs who are going to level you up each and every day. You need to be in close proximity to environments that are going to help you level up. And when I was thinking in the shower of the common thread of psychology and proximity for performance, I then rushed to my laptop and started researching both psychology degrees, advanced psychology degrees, and MBAs, and environments where I would be challenged to reach my next step. Now, I wasn't looking at them in the lens of, I'm going to start applying to these schools and become a student again. I was looking at them from the lens of, what structures are they creating at these different universities for the types of people that I want to surround myself with, going back to proximity. And I started taking some notes and realizing that I could read some books and listen to certain podcasts and start to lay that next brick of where I want to go down the thread of performance. Because up until this point, my life was athletics and school, and then it became full on entrepreneurship. And now I'm in this gray zone of, I'm approaching my mid 30s. What do I want the next decade, 2 decades to look like? And where do I really want to hone some of my skills? What does it look like? Where's it going to be? Who am I going to get to be a part of it with me? These are all the things that are going through my head. And when I think about the statement I made at the very beginning of this podcast, what is the one thing you can do to perform better at anything in your life? beyond the things that you can do to enhance your mental fortitude, beyond getting closer in proximity to people and places that can help you perform better. It's understanding what is hurting you from performing well in the first place. That simple statement can unlock so many things for people. I'll give a great example for this is I had the dream of wanting to be a professional athlete when I was younger. And when I got into college, instead of really thinking about my dreams and what I wanted, I got into drinking heavily every weekend, smoking weed, and generally spending my free time in ways that weren't conducive to stacking bricks towards my dream. I think a lot of young men end up doing that because you realize you're losing sight of your dream and you're probably not going to hit your dream. So then you self sabotage. And in my mid 20s, I made the decision that I didn't want to do that anymore. I'm actually going on 3 years sober this August. And as I approach my mid 30s, I now know that the dreams that I have for 5 years or 10 years or 20 years away, it's not whether I can hit them or not. It's how bad do I want them? And am I willing to work right now to hit them? And that is predicated on being honest with myself of what truly is hurting my ability to hit my dreams. And one of the biggest ways was the alcohol and partying. The other thing I think that hurts people is their nutrition, lack of sleep, lack of exercise, getting outside, the people they hang around, the content they're watching and getting sucked into rather than learning and educating themselves. There's a lot that we can analyze in our life that is inhibiting performance. And instead of sitting here and asking yourself what you can add to your life to perform better, you first need to dive deep into what can I take away so that if I stop doing this today, tomorrow I am immediately better. And that's where I want to end this. I want you to ask yourself that direct question of when I go to bed tonight and I wake up tomorrow, I'm going to be a different person because some of the things that I'm doing today, I'm going to write down and say, I'm no longer going to do them tomorrow, the next day, so on and so forth. And just because you do that, you're going to perform better in your life.